God, you are fucking terrible at cues.
I'm literally looking at the floor.
Yeah, and I said, I was like, I'm gonna fucking tell you. I'm gonna cue you in like 7 seconds.
Yeah, it itched my foot. Sorry.
You fucking bastard. Well, vote for your next emperor. You know, start picking them. Did you watch any of the debates? I was gonna avoid this subject because I did not.
I didn't watch them.
Yeah, I mean,
They didn't sound like they were very good, though.
Honestly, who has 2.5 hours on 2 nights? I'm probably going to watch them this weekend, but I watched some of the highlights. Worst highlights ever. It's just like whatever they could fucking spin. At least on like NBC, it's not some like Facebook, now this media fucking video where like they really are subtle on the jump cuts to fit their narrative. It's still a little sneaky, but NBC at least is like flash to white. They do like a wipe to white, showing you this is a jump in time.
We are skipping things.
Yes.
Take notice.
I mean, and still people will be like, no.
said
this stuff. This is the thing they said.
I didn't watch it. I saw some hot takes. Took them with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
I had this week off because I'm not working at the job. I just fucking marinated in my own filth and drank a lot of fucking booze.
Oh, man,
sat
brother.
outside in the sun.
You know, you have a period between two, which to be honest, I have not had that ever.
Oh my God.
Because I started fucking, except when I broke my leg. And that was like a solid 3 months.
It's not the same thing because
like,
you're just kind of hung up.
Yeah. But like I've been working since I was 14. Always had a job since I was 14.
I had a pretty big lull between the high school job and the job I just came from, but oh, it was glorious, man. I scored 4 goals on Wednesday.
Nice.
Yeah, boy, had a slapper, a wrister, a backhand, and like a snapper into the 5-hole. Like I scored every single way possible. I was so happy, dude.
Now, is it because you're getting good, or is just shit
I got some
goalie?
I got some serious tips.
Okay.
On my shot, and it helped. It was because like I could aim it left or right of the net, but I could never get the elevation what I wanted. And then I basically asked this guy, because we weren't at a game.
I just gotta
we were
say,
at practice, and this dude,
I can really hear the reflections. You know what I mean?
without the sound, actually, I can.
It makes a big difference. I finally got the spray glue in the mail, but I had to like open up a ticket with Amazon because it never came with the first order.
Mm-hmm.
And
they rectified it though, right?
Yeah, they did. Like I didn't even have to call them. Does that work? Fucking, I was like, okay, I got like maybe 10 minutes here. Open up a chat. It was like almost like talking like with a robot. But it obviously was not a robot. Maybe they just trained their people to be robots. But back to the hockey.
It was great. I could always like shoot left or right on the net where I want it, but I couldn't get the elevation to like the desired
Oh, you mean
height.
like scooping it? So you can get into like the, what is it? They call it the upper...
The top
10th?
bar and stuff.
In
bar
soccer,
down.
I think they call it the like upper 10% or like lower 90th. It's something about like the top of the goal line.
Yeah,
where
I
if
could
you
never...
get between there. Well, obviously the goalie stands taller than the goalpost, so that doesn't qualify. But is there like a hot spot in like height that you're supposed to shoot that the goalie just can't get?
You're looking for openings, but yeah, I'd say a good spot a lot of time is blocker, so that's the hand that they hold their stick in. You want to go high on that side, you're usually going to get a goal.
And part of it is just like faking, because you kind of have to get them to commit, and when they're throwing their body,
but
it's committed.
That's how I scored my last one.
Okay.
It was a shootout backhander, and I got him to dive for it. And I scooped it back over.
Zoop,
I scooped it back over and backhanded in with a little tap. It hit the post, like a nice satisfying ding. It was good.
Did it hit Siegfried or Roy?
Roy, I think. But it was good. I've been really enjoying the week off, especially after. Did I text you about my exit interview? Did I send you?
You did not, but I saw it on Facebook.
On the Fab? Dude.
You didn't say anything specific about it, but there's apparently a third-party
exit that you
firm.
Yeah. So
because they can't be fucked
to give a shit what you have to say. Yeah. So it's my exit interview. It's at like 3:00. I go into Jesus Christ, dude! I can't believe it's so.
They're just too big. They're just too big. It's not because they don't give a shit. It's because they're too big.
Not even. What they call me into the office. The guy's got a checklist. I was like, all right, yeah, we're gonna go through all the stuff. Make sure I handed everything back into the company. You know, they got all the keys, whatever else. Make sure my clearance is nixed off, like, you know, debriefed or whatever. I didn't have clearance, so I didn't have to deal with any of that shit. But we get to the end. He's like, all right, so your exit interview, we have a third-party company that'll send you an email, and you can write in, and then it's completely anonymous if you want it to be, or you can put your name on it. But we will look at it if you have anything in there about ethics violations, harassment, you know, shit like that. And it's like, okay, so you send it to a third-party company. It clearly goes through an algorithm. So if I am writing anything, I need to put in something like raped of my dignity and shit like that, because you're not fucking reading this, like, which is a real shame, because you guys have, because that company has the weakest workforce I have ever seen.
Just write in that you were a Russian all along.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking about, I was talking with some of the other boys about just adding, like, buzzwords that the algorithm would definitely catch. Mine
Russian UFO.
Mine was raped of my dignity. Mine was raped of my dignity, but
I'm thinking more of, like,
security.
Sold to the Russians, secrets, you know, secrets for sale, Facebook Marketplace.
I also found that.
Could you imagine that? Just like fucking just being disgruntled and just be like, I'm gonna sell secrets on a Facebook Marketplace.
I just. It was like the red flag you didn't know about until it was too late. Like very disappointing. And guess what? I never even got the email. I'm assuming Google auto spam deleted it for me. So.
I mean, at that point, why would you?
I know they're not going to read it.
It's like your health insurance fucking company just like spamming you for a fucking, you know, like take a survey. Take a survey. Hi, are you driving home right now? Are you in the middle of traffic? Do you need to focus right now? Take this survey. And I legitimately one time like said to the rep, like I went through it. I was like, yeah, I got time to do it. It was like, dude, you guys have asked me about this 40 times. This is obnoxious. And it's like, okay, we'll consider that. Never got it again.
Yeah. That's nice that they did that. My bank still calls me from time to time, and I'm just like, no, I won't do this ever over the phone because it's sketchy. And I say it to them every time.
This because Stefan is paranoid. Actually, I brought you up this week at work.
Stay paranoid, homies.
Talking with a friend. I was like, dude, my buddy, a long time ago, quit Facebook because he had an alias, and it wasn't even like a nefarious alias or something. It was just something he picked to fucking be his Facebook name.
I made my own nickname, something you're not supposed to do. Yeah.
It was Stefan Hammer Weber.
Yeah.
And it was still his fucking name. It just had Hammer in the middle of it like you do an alias, you know?
Yeah.
And then they hit him up, and there was like, show us your state ID or your account is suspended. And Stefan was like, no, that's weird. And then he talked to us in our circle of friends. He's like, I'm going to quit because of this. I'm going to quit Facebook because of this. And he actually did.
For a good couple years.
A long time. And then he fucking got back on it recently for hockey. And he's been more active recently. And I was talking to a coworker. I was like, dude, okay, one of my peers, and she's older than me, but like still like kind of in like a generation that gets my generation.
Yeah.
So I was just saying, my buddy, who is one of my peers, quit Facebook for several years, and now he's back on it, and it's like he might as well just be an old man. like back on social media. He just doesn't get it
You didn't like my full set?
No,
Star Trek shit.
That's what I was saying, because he's just been posting Star Trek: The Next Generation memes. There's no audience for it. I mean, I love it. I fucking love it.
What is my audience? It's literally, I think, like 4 people. I got 4 or 5 friends on there.
And not even all of them like that shit. Not even all of them are gonna get it.
I think 3 of them are family. I think I have 2 aunts and a cousin.
This is the first finger you count with? The ring?
We're going this way because it's in the camera frame and it's getting farther away with the counts.
And it looks bad on me. This one looks like the main mother finger. This is the not main.
Then who else I got? I got Corey, you, Britt. Those are all my friends. Oh, and 2 guys from hockey. So I got what was that? 3, 4, 5, 6. I almost got 10 Facebook friends.
Hey, that's the way to be.
Yeah.
I mean, not really. Facebook is still like a valuable tool. Actually, from what I've heard, some people who put way too much energy into this shit across multiple social media platforms, like Facebook is starting to come around as a more viable platform now. For, like, if you're doing something, like using that as your platform.
Yeah, as a scheduling platform, it's working. That's why I'm using it for the hockey stuff.
It's odd. That's
why we used it. I have through hockey. There's 3 different apps. One guy uses Facebook. That's probably the easiest one. Another guy uses something called Team Stuff, which is.
I'm thinking it's probably because that's the guy who took up the torch, and he's like, "This is the one I picked."
And then there's another app that I don't even really use. But the Facebook one is easily the
easiest
to use.
Now
has the most members.
I just got exposed to a very strange online group thing. It is as a result of me starting to get into road cycling, just to get some like aerobic activity, and I've just
in the Cycle Star group.
No,
just guys in spandex just fucking flexing on their bikes.
Somebody told me that. I told somebody at work, I was like, yeah, I got a road bike, and they're like, I cannot imagine you like putting on road bike gear. And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna.
I don't do that.
I don't do that. I have a road bike. You ever go to the east side and see people on road bikes that are just dressed like normal people?
That's something
commuting.
That's something I'm actually looking into as a bike or something.
Dude, get a road bike.
It's a low impact and it's really good exercise.
Really good cardio.
Yeah.
And really good endurance building. Really good for your legs. It's hard on your knees though. It can be like depending on how you fit your bike, it can be harder on your knees if you're like having an improper fit. But I've slowly realized that it's like almost the perfect not like I'm not going to start watching the Tour de France and shit like that or getting into like bike races, but I have started to enjoy some of the mechanics of some of the people who run YouTube channels that do like first person GoPros.
Yeah.
Where they like narrate like the strategy of their circuit bike races, not the marathon ones.
We want to go really slow here because it's easy.
It's actually American. It's actually somebody from it's like a state. I think it's California.
No, that's not as fun.
But there's a channel called GCN for Global Cycling Network. It's almost like Top Gear, but bikes.
Oh, GCN. I was like, GNC.
No.
Vitamin supplements.
But I've slowly realized it's like something that is like perfect for me because it's like it involves speed. I've always loved just going fast.
Freak, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a speed
freak.
Paint
this guy red.
When I was snowboarding, I was never really like a tricks guy because
I just like racing downhill.
That fucking I love bombing hills. Love speed.
Yeah.
What's that joke? What's your favorite upper? Speed. What's your favorite downer? Coming down off speed. but it's like both like a speed thing, it's exercise, and it's also like a mechanical device. It's like a technology thing. It's like body-driven NASCAR.
Buddy's gonna strap rocket boosters on his fucking bike and shit.
But it's like really cool, like looking into like the strategy of gear shifting, like using your body weight to just like pedal up a hill and putting power into it versus just like spinning in a low gear and conserving your
power, all your energy,
your power
and shit,
in your legs versus cardiovascular power, which is like two things that like develop independently of each other, but it's like both like used in this thing.
Well, I am thinking about getting a bike because it's great exercise, and
let me advise you.
I bought a hockey book like years ago. Like I'm talking, this thing is ancient. I think it was printed in 1995, and it's still got good advice in there. And they had
Probert's still alive.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, like it's old.
It's like
Gretzky's still playing.
Fucking Scholastic.
Yeah. Gretzky's still fucking playing in this.
My first penalty.
But yeah, basically some shit like that. But it had some workout stuff in there and some like basic just it had information in it that's still valid. So, but cycling was in there, and I think that would be a good one to get into because it's low impact and
it's also like a mode of transportation.
Yeah.
That like if you don't have a car or your car takes a shit, you could ride your bike.
And I'm in the city, so
right?
It's perfect.
And I've been building up my endurance to take my skateboard route, my tried and true safe route across town from the west to the east. I'm almost halfway there before I have to like, turn around. And that's with like maybe a 10 to 15 minute break at the midpoint. Because I've been like being really careful not to go too far and, not be able to get back and just fucking destroy myself.
Excuse me. I'm definitely looking for it for like the cardio and lung workout, which I actually went to the doctor, got some x-rays done. I'm still waiting on the call back.
Would you get a hit or something?
No, just because of this cough, dude. This cough just still isn't gone.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, man. I had one of those, like,
We're going into week 4. We're going into week 4. And
you non-medicated, nothing like that?
Because I told him that my insurance runs out pretty soon, and he's like, well, dude, you know what I'm going to do? We'll load you up with inhalers, because I know that you use an inhaler for activities. I'll load you up on that. We'll get the prescription for that filled for like a good chunk of time because you're not going to have insurance, and then I'll put you on some antibiotics just in case for the lung stuff, because you're not going to, it's like I'm not going to be rescheduling a visit more than likely, depending on what obviously happens with the x-ray, but he's pretty convinced that it'll go away with some time and the medication should help if it is an actual infection. But
I had something like that where it was I went through a couple rounds of antibiotics. Something was obviously bothering my lungs, and after a while it just went away.
Yeah, he said it's irritation from I forgot the medical name, but basically like the branches interior to my lungs got irritated when I got a cold.
Bronchial tubes.
They're still just a little irritated and healing. But
that was something that
yikes.
First I bought my bike, and I just was like had an overambitious goal. It's like I'm just gonna take it 5 miles to my dad's house and come back.
And you're dead.
And yeah, like less than a mile from my house. Granted, I had to start with 2 hills. Not the best fucking thing, especially when you don't know how to shift. You don't know shifting strategy. You haven't biked since you were a fucking kid.
It's still kind of the same. You go like a little lower like medium to lower when you're on like flat, and then if you're going up height, put some torque on it, like higher gear, right?
No.
Or is it light gear
Absolutely
going uphill?
Wrong. It's 2 different strategies, actually. You can either go like a mid-torque gear, you don't want to go full torque. Full torque is like downhill when you have the momentum going, and if you're spinning so fast that you're not putting any like momentum in the gears.
Man, I had a Trek bike that only had 3 gears, so I mean, you didn't have a lot of fucking options.
Yeah, I have 2 large gears in the front and then 10 in the back.
Okay.
And
yeah, I think the most I ever had was 5.
I actually just got a new
3
crank.
in the back and 2 in the front.
I just got a new crank gear today just because I wanted to get more metrics. And there's this thing called a power meter, which is stupidly expensive to get if you just want to get one and just put it on your bike. It's fucking like sometimes they're like $1,000, and I just like going through the fucking internet.
Fucking replace my legs with bionic ones, please.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's almost like 1/6 of the way to meeting your deductible for robot legs. But I found one that you can adapt to like certain cranks because they like calibrated them, or they have different calibrations where it's like a hollow aluminum crank that you can like almost like fuse the meter to, and then you measure how much, like every time you push, how much the metal deforms, and that gives you a reading on how many watts you're doing over
it's
time.
not deforming. It's like flexing. Like it's not permanently bending.
Yeah.
It's just
That's not
flexing.
what I mean. Yeah. The flex, it's deformation though.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. Like it's like elastic in nature. I think that's the.
No, I get what you're talking about. That was something we were doing with my hockey slap shot. Was we were talking about the flex of the stick.
Yeah, that's what you use to fucking slap shot.
Yeah, holding it in the right spot, because I have like a.
You have to hit the ice first to preload it, and then use that flex.
But my stick has like each stick, different types of sticks have different kick points, so where it actually bends is different. So this guy was teaching me to get air, you got to have your stick completely angled at a certain way, not too far. I was going way too far, and then
this is like some Wii bowling shit. Like, how far do I have to tweak my wrist before I hit?
And then he was like, and then you can drop down on the shaft even farther, because I have like a mid kick point. And man, they were just hammers. It was great. But the metric meter, you're measuring the flex of
the position where you put your hand will absolutely affect how much kick.
Yeah, I didn't have it low enough.
Your shot has.
I didn't have it low enough for the stick I had. I wasn't using my kick point properly. But
is that the proper term for it? Kick point?
That's like where the stick will bend. Like I have 2 sticks. I have one with a really low kick point, and then the one I have that I was using. I was just talking
out of my ass there with like using my understanding of physical properties, but I just called it like a kick point. Yeah. That's cool.
You have a high, medium, and low, and I have one low kick point stick, and I have a mid kick point stick.
You know, I think I'll do a lot better after some more cycling just over the weeks, because this is getting to the point where it's like I have finally found something that's like exercise. Like I hate going on a treadmill. I hate a stationary bike. I hate the elliptical because you're just there. And even if you're watching TV, you're still like thinking about your exercising. If you just go ride someplace and then you have to come back. Like that's your fucking goal. Like if you just can go someplace and you're gonna get someplace, and that's what you.
I liked kayaking, because that's when my dad lived on the river. I just put a kayak in the river. You'd kayak. Well, usually when you start kayaking, you want to go upstream, because it's harder to get back if you go downstream, because you'll go too far. It's
same with the wind.
Big mistake. But where we were, there's a dam one way, so you can't actually go that far upstream. So you go downstream, and then you'd kind of go back, and you'd go judge how much strength you'd have left to make it back, and yada yada yada. Man, I liked that. You
know what kayaking doesn't have though? there's a app called Strava for cyclists that you just turn on. You just start it, and it's almost like a Google Maps thing. You just start it, and it measures the metrics of your rap or of your ride.
rap metrics. Yeah, how fast and if you're a rap god or not.
It tells you what your average speed is. It tells you how fast you're, or how far you've gone.
Could you not just use that though with another system?
Here's the thing, though. Here's the cool thing. It has like a little leaderboard, and it divides your route, because if you're on a bike route,
Oh, bringing a little competition.
yeah, it gamifies the exercise.
Sign me up.
So it tells you like where you stand as far as like it not only takes your route, but it like breaks up your route into little runs. So you can like kind of like warm up through like a section, and you're like, okay, I know where the start of this one is. I know where the end is. I'm going to fucking go balls out through this one to see where I stand on the leaderboard on this one. It's pretty dope. And all of that is for free. They have like, and I haven't paid for any of the stuff on their app yet.
What was it
because
called?
they're not sponsoring us.
What's it called?
Strava. It's for biking, running, and swimming. It's like the Ironman thing.
Oh, it is for running, because there's a couple times where I'm not really running, but I'm going for like a long walk, and I'm curious, like,
How long?
what kind of distance am I really making? Like, what's the speed I'm making? Because I went from
It's
I went for, like,
definitely more of like an aerobic. It's not gonna do. It's gonna put you like dead balls last for walking.
But like sometimes you just want the metrics for like how far you've walked or.
Yeah, there's other apps for that.
Yeah.
For sure. I used to have them for. I had another app. I forget the name of it. It like wasn't networked or anything like that. You didn't sign up for anything. It just used GPS data to give you average speed and the entire distance that you traveled, and a map of where you traveled for e-skating, because I wanted to know how far could I go on one battery.
But I'm seeing those
reliably.
things all downtown now too.
E-skates?
The e-boards and
Fucking
shit.
dope,
They're
dude.
fucking all over
Love
downtown.
it.
But it's funny though, because a lot of kids don't have like any of the protections, and they'll be pushing it. I'm just like, buddy.
Wear protection, kids, man.
I'm just like, buddy. That's gonna hurt.
For real, if you're gonna go over 10 miles an hour,
Kids are wearing
wear a fucking
kids are wearing
helmet.
like Keds and like the short shorts and like a polo with like their hair slicked back and just kind of like cruising a little bit. I'm just like, you hit a stick, bud. Yeah, gone.
To be honest, dude, you can go over sticks. This ain't your fucking
But you know what I mean.
Tony
like
Hawk's Pro
if you
Skater
hit
skateboard.
if you mess up, you're gonna be hurting.
Yeah, but hopefully if the kids are getting into it, hopefully their parents bought them a fucking cheap ass version of it that
They're
doesn't go
college
very
kids. I
fast.
assume they're buying cheap shit.
I'm glad I got this shit in before the fucking Chinese section, man. I bought all my fucking e-boards from China. They're like boosted board competitors.
Oh, they're probably
fucking
expensive as fuck now.
Great batteries. Yeah, well, they're coming out with new fucking versions of it, but I haven't ordered any of them because I have plenty. And the fucking the trade sanctions, man.
I believe it. I can buzzword that because we said it.
Trade sanctions. That's still like not a good tag technically. You know what would really help us is if I would go through and like fucking timestamp where the
The tags are coming up.
Yeah, but nah.
Oh, speaking of hot apps though, because you brought up Strava, were you a Pokemon Go guy?
Strava.
Strava.
I tried to be, but like I really couldn't get into it because they cut out Pokemon battles. Apparently,
Yeah.
they added it.
They're in
later.
there now. Apparently, I don't.
But why wouldn't you just do that in the first
But
place?
that's not what I really want to ask you. I'm asking you.
Sorry,
are
I
you
went
gonna
a little
get
Don Vito
Are you
there.
going to get into the same company's
Yeah,
School
the
of
fucking
Wizard-
Harry Potter
Yeah,
one. I
School
saw
of
that on
Wizardry
fucking
Harry
line.
Potter.
I was like,
What the fuck?
wow, like Pokemon Go was a hard sell after a couple of months, and now it's Harry Potter. Like, are there really enough Harry Potter fans to fucking combat Pokemon?
Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like Harry Potter. But there are a lot of diehard fans, and there are a lot of grown diehard fans for Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah, I saw
don't
that.
get it, but
I saw that shit
there.
a couple fucking weeks ago. It's like, you're not a Hufflepuff, you're not a Slytherin, you're 33 years old.
Like, Vans just did a collab. You go to fucking Ren Fair, there's Harry Potter guys there.
What?
There's grown men who are in their 30s listening to the audiobooks at my old job.
I suppose it's like wizardry. And to be honest,
it's still a young adult teen novel.
If you grew up with that and that was your thing, I guess if that's your Star Wars, more power to you.
True that.
But come on, man, like they stretched that shit so thin over even the writer of that. And she's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, she is crazy.
Fucking crazy.
There's some really great ribs on her.
How many books was that? 8?
I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy. I'm not an HP fan.
Okay, how many Star Wars movies are there so far?
Shit, dude.
Not including the Clone Wars.
Shit, we're not including Clone Wars?
We're at 8. And that was stretched over 40 years.
But are you counting the two?
Harry
Are you
Potter?
counting Solo and Rogue One?
No, that's what I meant by like not counting Clone Wars, not counting.
Okay. Just trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah. 8. Yeah.
And that was like distributed over multiple directors, multiple writers. It wasn't all from Lucas as much as like a lot of people would be.
I don't even know.
He was the creative idea.
I don't know if you really got to say that Harry Potter is too long of a series.
No, I'm not saying it's too long. I'm saying it's too stretched because if you watch the movies, by the end,
I didn't get into the movies. I only got the first 3 books because we were young. They were read to us in school, and then
yeah, that's actually true.
Yeah, and then the movies came out, and I think I got to.
Do you think
Prisoner? I think was the last one.
Prisoner
I saw.
of Azkaban?
I think so.
Do you think that it was like the what do you call it, OxyContin, where the companies paid the doctors to prescribe it to you think the company behind Harry Potter paid the librarians in elementary schools to read this to small children to get them addicted?
I don't know about that depth, but I'm sure that
I know I'm being ridiculous.
I'm sure some money actually does go into that whole like New York Times bestseller style list. And that's where that all came from. This was like kind of pre-internet. Like not everybody had internet when they were being read to us.
Yeah, it was like
I had internet because my parents were filthy rich.
I did not have internet because we lived up north and there wasn't that great of options up there. I cannot remember the year we finally got internet, but I was like, I think we got like a 56K modem, and the standard had already moved to cable, and I was trying to play Counter-Strike, so I had like a 6 billion.
Christ, good on you. My parents weren't actually rich. My dad just got hand-me-down computers from Rockwell that he'd buy for cheap. We had garbage internet. I do remember playing Doom and Wolfenstein 3D religiously and then LANing with my brother.
Yeah, those are the things that fucking take no
because we were LANing
hardware
also
whatsoever.
And then eventually we upgraded. That
is such a charming story. Now that we brought up Doom and Wolfenstein, or is it id or ID? I think it's
ID.
id.
I say ID.
I say id. I always thought it was ID, but it's like after saying Mimi for a while and then figuring out it's meme, you switch to the other side. They moved from Texas to Madison, Wisconsin because it was like, oh, nice summers and stuff, and then well, they don't say anything about the blizzards. And one of the most popular stories about the genesis of Doom, which was released as freeware, where you could just give it to other people, it crashed the University of Madison servers because everybody, once they saw how cool
The game was hot.
they crashed
That game had the
servers.
best metal intro
Just to
theme
get it.
ever. But
that was like the genesis of first person like perspective
yeah,
shooters.
it was great. Yeah, me and my brother got to play that co-op LAN. We had Lemmings, and then we got Age of Empires.
I remember my dad giving me a floppy disk with that shit, and I was like, "Hey man, turn to Castle Wolfenstein. Return to Castle.
I had Wolfenstein 3D. It had all of them in there. It was great.
Well, Return to Castle Wolfenstein was an Xbox game later on.
Oh yeah. I don't think I actually
Wolfenstein
finished
3D
that one.
was like the genesis to Doom. There was like
it was the Nazi version of Doom,
Yeah.
and it was great. That came out wrong.
You mean Doom was the demon version of Nazi killer?
Yeah, thank you.
That's so crazy.
You literally got to kill Hitler, and he was in a cybernetic suit.
Yeah, robot
with double
Hitler.
miniguns. Yeah, it was so fucking awesome. That game was so fucking cool.
Shit. You could just give it to your friends as a fucking floppy disk. And there was that whole don't copy that floppy thing before
Yeah.
people figured out how to do digital rights management. It was a golden age.
What else did I have? We had
honestly, when that shit was fresh, we were but piss babies going into kindergarten.
I was a small child enjoying myself though. What else did we have? We tried to get TIE Fighter and X-Wing, couldn't get those to work on those POS computers.
Oh man, my first Star Wars TIE Fighter-esque game was Rebel Alliance.
I had to play
X-Wing Alliance.
Yeah, I had to go play that at my friend's house. He had all the Star Wars games. Rogue Assault or Rebel Assault.
That one?
X-Wing, TIE Fighter.
Dude, Rebel Assault sucked.
That's the one where
it was like Mortal Kombat pre-recorded human graphics.
Yeah. It was still cool though.
And it was like you could shoot here or here and time to duck out.
We had Shadows of the Empire. Couldn't play that unless we were at my dad's work because he had the supercomputer.
I had that for Nintendo 64. I just want to say, X-Wing Alliance was my first exposure to 6 Degrees of Freedom. Just the golden age of PC space sims in the 90s.
I didn't get that until I got Free Space in high
which
school.
I fucking bought on your advice, Free Space 2.
Yeah.
Which is a Chris Roberts game, who's the guy who is making...
Did you finish it?
I got very, very far into it.
They were fun. They're
very fun. But it's like you can't even use your mouse. You're using your numpad and the rest of the keyboard. Like your numpad 8, 4, 6, and 2 are your up, down, left, and right.
I don't
and then you have
remember the
like
controls
rotate.
very well.
You can't use your mouse.
I don't remember the controls very well.
But that was a Chris Roberts game, who was the guy who made the Wing Commander series.
He's doing Star Citizen, right?
Yep, Star Citizen. And that shit is just going back and forth for like hate, hype, hate, hype, hate, hype.
Of course
never
it
gonna
is.
come out.
Dude, it got I knew that was gonna happen with it. I only wish the best for the game, but like anything that is that early in development, you do the Kickstarter, you get all that money. Oh
Yeah,
my
but
God.
that was
you got people who are literally grinding their teeth just waiting at
That was
any
the
little
thing that
piece.
set the precedent for that. Like what you're talking about didn't really come until
not to that
after
scale.
this.
Yeah, not to that scale. I've had bad experience with, because I do RPGs and board games. I've had plenty of bad experiences with that, where it's like, we're gonna do this.
I was looking at some of those Game Workshop's Warhammer 40K games that are on sale because the Steam summer sale has begun.
They give their license to anybody, and they just don't give a shit if it's in a video game format. Like,
I will say I did not finish Battlefleet Gothic, but I loved it.
they have the second one coming out.
Yep, it's already out. It's already on sale. It's already been out. It's already fucking... I didn't check the reviews of that, but I really love that game. Shit. And I fucking... I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with the Warhammer 40K universe. And I've been meaning to ask you like a nerd question about Warhammer 40K because I really like the lore of like the stuff that isn't really in the era that you play in. There's like this whole
Talking about the Horus Heresy, the earlier stuff.
Yeah, the Horus Heresy, the lead up to the golden age of technology, the Dark Ages, all that stuff. It's like stuff I'm kind of interested in as far as like standing on the concept of standing on the shoulders of giants, as far as technology advances.
I just want to insert my 2 cents here. I like where the story is now. I just wish they'd move the story somewhere. I'd wish they'd do like they are moving the story somewhere, but it still doesn't really move anywhere, if that makes any sense. Like
it has 40,000 years to draw from, and this is what I wanted to ask you about.
Okay.
Is Warhammer actually from the genesis of like where Warhammer 40K comes from, or does Warhammer take place in the Warhammer 40K universe, but on these fringe planets where they've just lost connection with all?
There's a couple
technology.
fan theories about it, but when a atrocious writer took over, actually,
who's that? I don't know who that is.
I'm not going to name his name because he's not going to get any credit.
You mean the one that took over after? Who's the guy who left?
I think his name's Mark Ward or something. Matthew.
You named
Ward.
his name.
Matt
You said you weren't going to do it.
I don't remember. He was terrible. But they introduced a faction called Grey Knights,
which I remember like looking at. They're the they're super secretive order of space marines who get the best equipment, and they also have I'm not talking just about
abilities.
But
they have a character.
They come from the Primarchs, and they come from all of the Primarch legions.
Those are Primaris Marines.
Okay.
Those are slightly different, but they introduced this faction.
I like the lore more than I'd like.
No, that's fine.
Honestly, sitting down and playing Warhammer 40K with some of the fucking miniature nerds, man. Like, I need to find the right group of people to play with, because the last fucking group we played with, it was like, okay,
that wasn't even
play
40K,
with you.
though.
Yeah, I know. It was Infinity.
Yeah.
I know, but it's still like a miniature thing, and that was just not the right group.
You come over, we'll play a small time game of Kill Team. But
how about that?
But where was I? Okay, so if I'm remembering this correctly, there's a couple theories where Warhammer is somewhere inside the Warhammer 40K universe and all this other stuff. But in one of the storylines, though, one of these Grey Knights goes through the warp, which is this tear in time and space, which like the Chaos Demons come from inside the Warhammer universe.
It almost is time and space.
But this Space Marine actually got sent to the Warhammer universe, so I guess in that aspect they're parallel.
Parallel universes. It's almost like Star Trek. It's like they've both been done. They've both had episodes about it. Like,
yeah, and you can kind of, in my opinion, 40K when I refer to 40K, I mean Warhammer 40,000. That's a future one, and then there's Warhammer Fantasy. You can just cherry pick the stuff you like. Yeah. Just cherry pick the stuff you like. Like,
I mean, that's kind of what it is.
There's so much backlogged canon. Like, that's why I kind of understand why Disney was like, we got to wipe all this out, but we don't know how to write good science fiction stuff. But 40K is kind of at this point where it is pretty bloated, and I know a lot of diehard fans, if they ever heard this, would be like, you are crazy to be saying these things, but it's pretty fucking bloated, man. There's a lot of
no. There are YouTubers who literally make a living off of just regurgitating the lore and finding pictures to put together in a video just to explain it to people like me.
And it's been going for almost 40 years now. Started in like the early 80s. And there's a lot of
40K or Warhammer
both,
in general?
kind of.
Okay. Then what, did they both start at the same time?
40K was a little after Warhammer Fantasy.
Yeah, okay. I'm thinking like 5 years, like Games Workshop was like, hey, man, we really got something going with this Warhammer thing, but we're not quite capturing the sci-fi nerds.
Yeah.
How could we sell them?
They loved Judge Dredd and all that stuff. So,
To be honest, though, I don't like it as much as like a Judge Dredd as like a pure future kind of universe, because
later I'll bring up
40K
later I'll bring up some
still has this fucking like knights and fucking old religions kind of. It still has an old feel even though it's in the future. That's like the one thing I don't like about like the it's not like a pure future.
No, it's like a lost technology future.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why I like it. It has this gothic future where things have been long forgotten. But
which I do like the concept of. I do like the concept.
Let's bring up
of
these old guys. I don't know if they're going to have the old art for them, but these guys were literally just Judge Dredd clones.
Let's see here.
I don't have the 80s art.
Do this
It was the 80s were a lawless waste.
Yeah, they really were. The fucking music they put out, all that cocaine they did. The fucking businessman in Wall Street was just allowed to run amok. All right, you got a picture up?
I want to get the art and not the
No.
I want to get the art and not the miniatures.
That's a thing. It has so much cool art, and some of these YouTube channels that are just like putting together the lore and the way they put it together with some of the art, it's just a very cool, 40 minutes of time.
There you go. That guy's pretty Judge Dredd inspired. This is definitely a fan art, but
yeah, I guess. Yeah, the fucking skull on the fucking arm. But
this is what they. Well, we went to Pinterest.
Too much, man. No. Turn it around.
Yeah, we're out of here.
Skirt. Once you get to Pinterest, you've gone too far because you can only scroll down so far before they ask you to sign up. And then they never stop emailing you.
Yeah. Fucking jagholes.
Man,
there you go.
Went down a rabbit hole there.
These guys look pretty Judge Dreddy.
And it's actually pretty cool. It kind of looks like Judge Death.
Yeah.
But yeah, Judge Dredd.
Those are their basic space cops. Clearly ripoffs from
basic space cops.
Yeah.
It's obviously a normal human being because the fucking the Space Marines are 8 feet.
Yeah, they're like 9-10 feet tall.
tall.
I just finished a book where there was one Space Marine that literally wasted legions of those guys. But
Sounds
to
like
your original question, my understanding is the universes are in parallel. They are not directly interwoven outside of that one-time event that I only read about somewhere and might not even be confirmed. Because that's the problem when you have such a large universe. You don't know what's official canon and what might have been snuck in somewhere on the internet that's actually just some dude's Mary Sue fan fiction.
I mean, that kind of happens when it's like a game based on role-playing and miniatures.
Yeah. Ultimate,
come on.
Ultimate nerd wank.
It's the main, like, the purpose is to create your own scenario. But to be honest, though, like, joining somebody else's scenario in the middle of it, not that fun. It's fun to, like...
Warhammer isn't really like that, though. I mean, you're literally
rules.
just picking a group of guys that you think are cool, and then you just play army men with them, basically, like a small child.
There are rules, and it's fun to know some of the background behind it, so you know, like, where it's set.
And where they're getting it from. We'll play a little game of Kill Team sometime. I actually have the rules for it. It's like a small-scale little game, and I have a bunch of factions we could pick from.
I think we actually played some, like, short-term, like, a miniature game at Brett's house when he was moving out of
That was still Infinity.
But
just played a bunch of Infinity.
But still, it was short. It was like a skirmish-based thing where you didn't really have to go through the character setup. Out of his house, where he had moved to Madison and he was just stashing all of his board games in a pile. That's because we played the renting.
Yeah, that's because so we played the miniatures game, which didn't involve all that character building.
That was before I actually.
And then
went
we
and played
played the RPG, but we decided to use, they had conversion rules where you could make your characters into miniatures characters because we wanted to do that for the combat system. That's why you were like, excuse me, that's why you're like, that was awful. And it was awful.
I had thought of that last weekend because I sat down and was like, I'm a worthless blob. It's Sunday morning. What movie do I want to watch? You know what movie I picked?
No.
Fifth Element.
Ooh, nice.
Yep. I haven't seen it.
My boy Ruby Rod.
Yep. Ruby Rod, fucking Leeloo Dallas. I slept through half of it, but I would like wake up periodically.
What's the bad guy's name again?
Zorg.
Zorg, yeah.
Fucking
He chokes on that fucking like Mancino cherry. Whatever the fuck he sticks in his mouth.
Oh yeah, he has that little elephant pet.
Yeah.
I fucking totally slept through that part, but
It just stares and bring us the stones.
No, he doesn't need but he lives through that. At the end, a bomb that he set is about to go off, and he disarms it with his credit card. And then another bomb that just happens to be 5 feet away from him starts at the same amount of seconds that he disarmed his shit from. And he's just like,
damn.
Oh, no.
Such a great movie.
Shit. It is such a great movie. It is a great vision of the not too distant future from the late 90s. Just like Alien is a great vision of the future from the late 70s.
I love just the cities in Fifth Element. I like just
what was the other one with the two like secret agents from the future from the same director? Valerian. It was based after like some sort of comic book, but it was from the same French director.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of that Jupiter Ascending movie for some reason where fucking
Valerian?
Channing Tatum had blonde dyed eyebrows and
furry
he's a
Channing
fucking
Tatum with
wolf
fucking
man.
jump boots.
Oh god, that was so bad.
Have not brought myself to watch it yet.
Possibly the worst movie I've seen in a long time.
Like first like this is gonna be big.
Yeah. Like
No.
it was an absolute like if I went to the movie theater, I don't know.
I think it
I could've
was
sat through it.
Valerian and the Planet of 1,000 Cities, or a Planet
That's
of
the one where
1,000
that Conan like guy goes to Mars. Or am I messing that up too?
Yeah, you're messing that one up. I watched at one of your fucking the campaign buddies' houses. You know, we go out to Whitefish.
Whitefish Beach. I don't remember that one. Oh, that was
Same
where they were
director.
like brother and sister secret agents or something,
Yeah,
right?
they weren't brother and sister though. They were just fucking.
Okay. I vaguely remember that one. I don't think I watched all of it.
I watched it posthumously, and I was like, I could see why this didn't gain traction, but I liked it.
What was the one with the Conan like guy that goes to Mars?
Fuck. Mars? Oh, Pluto Nash? That Eddie Murphy movie?
Jesus Christ. No.
Yeah, that one was good, though.
I don't remember.
I mean, if you like it, that was like high quality comedy does campy. And that's a movie I totally forgot about. Pluto Nash. Okay, you want to watch a shit movie? Fucking watch Buckaroo Banzai Across the Fifth Dimension, something like that.
Why would I watch that? I could just watch Duck Dodgers, which I actually just watched all of, and it was great.
Dude,
Dave Mustaine was in it with Megadeth.
you know what I found out this week? Remember that? You know that place? You get off 45, you're going north, you hit Menominee Falls. Okay. Last Menominee Falls exit before you get to Germantown. County Q. There's the restaurant on the corner there, right off the exit.
Okay.
What's the name of it? Briscoe County. Do you know what Briscoe County is?
Sure,
It is a reference to a fucking TV series. I would walk in there. It's the place that my place of employment picks to have every time somebody decides to move on of their own volition and not get fired. They have a little get together for them if they're liked.
County.
If they're at Briscoe County, and I walk into the place. This is the only time I go there, and I look on the wall and I was like, "Why the fuck is there a picture of Bruce Campbell on the wall?"
Because of Briscoe County.
Because Briscoe County is the name of a show from the 90s called The Adventures of, is it The Adventures? Briscoe County Jr.
Okay, I'm seeing this. I brought it up.
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, look at this.
What a
This
stud.
is the first fucking, that is the picture that's on the inside of Briscoe
Can I
County.
just say what an absolute rocket this guy is? I love.
This was in the height of his career, I think,
Yeah.
in '93. This was 2 years after, I think,
And they made a whole restaurant.
Evil
out of
Dead
this.
2 came out.
Yeah.
Because Evil Dead came out.
Or Army
in,
of Darkness, one of those. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was Army of Darkness.
It could have been either one of those.
He was on the height of camp. He was
Yeah.
the camp god. And they made...
Is this it? Is this the inside of Briscoe County?
Yeah, this is, it looks nothing like, it's just a Western themed bar, but as soon as you walk in there, it's a fucking Bruce Campbell picture. So whoever made this had to have been like a campy Bruce Campbell fan, because the Briscoe County Jr. wasn't just a Western, it was a sci-fi Western, and was very short-lived, and it was just everything that you would think Bruce Campbell would be in.
It was a sci-fi western.
Yeah.
I just did that.
It was like
That
sci-fi Western steampunk.
I just did that for, well, it wasn't steampunk, but I did a science fiction western for the boys on Saturday. That was like the mission I made up.
Do that. Aliens versus Cowboys. Daniel Craig and Harrison Ford team up to fight the aliens.
We didn't have that. There were like cyborgs and stuff.
That was a movie, though. That was a
Yeah,
great
it was.
movie. I love that movie.
I watched it.
Didn't you love it?
I'm trying to see if Bruce Campbell ever actually.
I mean, it was
visited.
honestly, when I think of it, it was a terrible movie, but I loved it.
'Cause
I
it was-
even went and saw that
It was
in
bad,
theaters.
terrible. I liked it.
Yeah. Like the cool concept.
Seems like Bruce Campbell never actually visited Briscoe County and Menominee Falls,
Why
and
would
that
he?
makes me sad.
How many Briscoe County restaurants are there? He's moved on to better things, like Congo. Ash versus Evil Dead.
Do you think he'll get a spot in one of the Jumanji movies? I feel like he'd do great in one of those.
Oh, just as a fucking you've
You've been turned into Bruce Campbell.
or he's like an archaeologist, modern archaeologist.
Because you saw the new Jumanji, right?
Panics when the monkeys attack.
Because you saw the new Jumanji, right?
No, I haven't.
Watch it. It's actually pretty fun.
I've heard it's great.
Briscoe County.
Jumanji.
Yeah.
I just love how you say things wrong.
Yeah, I'm great for it.
What is the process between? Do you just say
That
them
is
wrong?
the only Briscoe County.
Let me ask you a question, Seth. Do you just say things wrong, or do you like think about it and pick how to say things wrong?
Both.
Like Zealots.
Jumanji.
Zealots.
Jumanji.
No, you said Jumanji.
Jumanji. Jumanji. Zealots. They
Key
have
and
lots
Peele.
of zeal.
Key and Pele.
I did that
you
one
picked
on
that
purpose.
one on purpose.
That was on purpose because that shit got
Zealots.
Zealots.
I feel like that was my Key and Pele with you. You'd be like Zealots. I'm like Stefan. They're zealots. They're zealots.
They have
Stefan.
lots of zeal. No, I've been calling them that since StarCraft 1.
Oh, so you've been wrong your entire life.
Yeah.
Wow. Shape up or ship out, man.
I'm not a grammar guy. I'm a good time party boy.
Chad Muska, everybody. Allergic to
Yeah,
sleeves,
allergic to shit.
tattoos.
Seriously
man.
though, it was like 81 degrees today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
noticed
was
the
hot.
humidity cranked up to 11. Fucking went into work. Raining, thunderstorming, storm front. I was like, I have an hour and a half of work today. I have a lot of work to cram into that to maintain appearances. And then I come out of work and I was like, whew, God.
That's gross out.
This
And
is a
yesterday it was
spicy
bad too.
meatball.
I went out with like gym shorts, a tank top.
I've been in
Still
pants.
sweating.
Dude, I've ridden 12 miles in pants twice this week.
And then that
and I have
fucking-
not washed these, and I've gone to work.
That storm that came through last night that like blew in and was over just as fast.
That
as
was
it came
gnarly, dude.
through. Dude,
I was fucking
Steve Johnson, not Steve Sackmaster. He had lightning strike in his backyard and started a fire. He had to call the police. And the ice rink out in Arrowhead, they lost power. It like took the power out for the building. Like it was so windy. That shit was
Same happened in my place of work. I was there super late, and one of our main presses is running fucking like half the building goes down, comes back up right away, but it's enough to stop the presses. And that means like you have everything in time. Like your gears are clicking. It's powered by electricity, and it's basically a big timing musical instrument. Fucking power goes out. It's like, fuck you and all of the work that you've just set up over the last half hour. And I just hear the guy fucking running the press. Mother! Fuck my life! Fuck it! Fuck this! And fucking my boy G comes out, and he's just like, I feel your pain. But,
take a $5.
yeah, I don't even think that happened because I had my own bullshit to deal with. But he was just like so frustrated. He's like, I'm ready to fucking quit this job right now and walk out of the fucking, like, not the job, but like the job he's doing right now. And he was like, dude, has to happen tonight. Like, no matter what happens, has to happen tonight. And I just fucking, like, this guy is like a loose cannon who is operating this press. And I feel like, even with that outburst, he handled it very well.
I'm still proud of him. I still like him.
I kind of am. I am proud of him for handling it as well as he did and sucking it up and getting back to it.
Good.
But let me tell you, man, if, as an IT manager, if you have not done your due diligence and put an area power controller on people's outlets for their computers, it's like a nightmare, man.
He's got the horror in his eyes, guys.
I have a few people who don't have one. I actually have a few people set up. And they could just like turn it off if I want to. Just turn the power off the computer, like
just networked. Like goodbye.
But APCs, man, it's taking electricity in from the wall, putting it through a battery, and then putting it to the computer. So when the power goes out, it's already drawing from the battery.
Yeah.
Those things only last like, I don't know, 6-7 years. 6, 7, 20 years. So it's like worth getting them.
That is a huge range. 6, 20 years.
Dude, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, it's a lottery with, like, the batteries. Yeah. But, it saves a lot of grief. I'm still amazed.
It's a struggle I don't have to deal with much.
Dude, join tech support, man. It'll fucking teach you some lessons in,
customer service.
Yeah, if you look at your coworkers as customers, which is a good philosophy, but goddamn, it is
Customers
amazing.
Can still be dumb.
It is amazing how many times. Okay, join IT if working with end users. If you want an exercise in how many times can you repeat yourself before you are driven to murder.
Oh, you know what? Did I tell you I'm working at this dog store?
Yeah, you did. So, let's hear about the puppy dogs. You got cool puppy dogs coming? Are puppy dogs coming in at least? Do you get to play with dogs?
The puppies are obvious. Yeah, the puppies are obviously the best.
That's not obvious to me. I mean, like I think.
Puppies do come in there and they're, they're obviously the best customers, but I've met a hairless dog, which is actually pretty cool. And
genetically,
chosen to be that way.
Okay,
he chose that life.
Oh,
but
it was actually genetically engineered, not just a genetic mutation that he.
It's one of the hairless breeds. It's like a naturally ugly.
I haven't seen one.
Okay.
I've seen the hairless cats. I have not seen. I think they're the Sphinx.
Yeah, but this is a hairless dog. But hold on a second here. Anyway, but I'm working there. You have no idea how many people come in there and ask you questions like I'm a vet. Like, my dog is puking and throwing up. What should I do? It's like, I don't know. Maybe you should go to a vet. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's like, I'll offer you some tips and pieces of advice. Like, I'll like
Close the toilet.
yeah, like this one lady's like, yeah, my dog, we like just got her and she's shitting all over and she's got like explosive diarrhea and she's peeing all over the house. And I'm like, did you change her food recently or like what? But I work at a dog store. I'm not a vet.
It's fucking funny. We should think about veterinarian advice from a dog store clerk. My dog's ears melted. What should I do? It's like, did you change your brand of AirPods?
Like
maybe. Try turning your Wi-Fi receiver off.
the other thing is the store I work at, they do everything they sell is from within the state of Wisconsin. All the dog
that's
food
the thing?
brands. Yeah, all the
Fair
dog
trade.
Food, yeah, all the dog food. Excuse me, all the treats. But it's all like healthy dog food. And every customer, 2 out of every 3 customers come in there and they're just like, organic. Where's like the pedigree or whatever? Like they're like looking for the cheap stuff. And like I get it at a level, but at the same time it's like it's advertised on the front of the store like it's all local. Like they carry from some other brands and you know whatever else, but it's just like,
is it that much better for doggies though? I mean, I know it's like you're trying to support your local niche, which I think is a good idea. You know,
like some of the treats are made from like one of the brands of treats like a lady makes out of her house, which is kind of cool. But I don't know, like it's Fromm's made in Wisconsin. There's some other brand too, but like you have grain-free dog food. You have dog food with grain. You have whatever else, but there's so many customers that come in there and they're just like, like they're complaining about the ingredients, and it's just like, if you don't want it, you don't have to buy it. But you're like verbally complaining as if I'm going to do something, and it's just weird. Like just the way some people act when they come into the store is just weird.
okay, I got a funny dog story dealing with ingredients. So, one of the places,
the lady that thought her dog was a vegetarian on Ellen or whatever, and then it ate the
this is
meat
actually
anyway?
personal. It's
Okay.
personal to me. I actually experienced this. If I can go to Hampton Beverage, you know the place.
Oh, we all know the place.
Yep. That's your local liquor store that's not Pick and Save or Walmart. But it's like on a cool route. I would like, kind of ride e-skates up there. Hop on the backpack, It's like, I already had a few and I need some more because I ran out. So hop on the skateboard, go up
Get
there
over
with the backpack. And, you always figure it's like, they're not going to pull me over because I can balance. I'm obviously not drunk. But I get in this fucking store. I just like pick up like 2 Sixers or something. And there is 2 people I recognize. One is Dano, as in Bookham Dano. He's just like a security guard guy. And I learned that from riding the one wheel around and just having him stop me. He was like, what the fuck is that? And then he like called out his King of the Hill friends. Like on that frontage road on Hampton.
I don't know who Bookham Dano is.
Bookham Dano is like the I will beat the shit out of you black security guard at the Indian liquor store.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if I've met him.
Yeah, but his name isn't Bookham Dano, it's just Dano, as in Bookham Dano.
Yeah.
So apparently he is very adamant about not eating pork,
Okay.
and he is very adamant about his dog also not eating pork.
Okay.
So this other lady I've seen in there as a clerk a million times. She's just in there. I don't know if she's even working there anymore because I haven't seen her doing shit. She's just in there. She fucking takes a beef jerky or apparently pork jerky, pork product in it, and fucking like tears it open and feeds it to the dog. And he's like, "You better make sure that it's not got pork in there." He doesn't eat pork. And she just gives it to the dog, and the dog's like, "Go, go, 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 go," because it's a dog.
Yeah.
And fucking,
Dogs like meat.
yeah,
Period.
dogs like meat product, anything. You
Like,
could feed a
'cause
dog
you
a dog.
saw that cringy video where that woman was on some daytime talk show. It might have been.
Yeah, they were
on
like the
BBC.
fucking
She's like, "My dog's the vegetarian. We only
that you
eat
brought up at the
veggies."
beginning. That's what you thought I was talking about.
Yeah. And the hosts are like, "All right, yeah, we'll see how vegetarian your dog is. Here's a bowl of carrots and green peas and whatever else, and here's a bowl of wet, meaty, delicious food." And the dog just walks right up, looks at both bowls, goes right into the meat.
Right, immediately, without hesitating.
Not even a second thought. And
I just saw that clip of it. I didn't see like the follow up of it. I was just like, "Oh, that's dumb."
I'm pretty sure the woman was just like, "Oh no, I'm an idiot."
But after the lady, who I've seen these two people work together before, she feeds him the beef stick. This guy is fucking livid. This guy is fucking like on the verge of threatening a domestic dispute. He's on the clock as a security guard, threatening to beat the shit out of this lady who came into the store. And yeah, she kind of worked there and they know each other. She's like, "I will fucking kill you if you do that again. I don't eat pork and my dog doesn't eat pork either." And I'm just like, I'm not going to say anything, but it's like, he obviously does, dude. Like, the dog loves pork.
What?
But I was like,
How
thinking,
often
it was like,
you get pork jerky? Though?
I was like thinking, it was like, what are you like a black Muslim? Are you pushing your religious beliefs on your dog here? Is that what you're doing? Are you a fucking Hasidic Jew? Are you, like,
Yeah,
you gotta have kosher pork before you eat
I
it?
can understand not feeding your dog grains, but not feeding it meat.
I could understand not feeding your dog bullshit beef jerky products from the counter at a convenience store.
I mean, it's probably no different than
it?
some of the treats they get. But
And let me tell you, man, Bookham Dano is fucking a slab of lean meat.
Yeah,
that
he's
will
pork-free.
Beat the shit. He will beat the shit out of you.
there's no pork on him. I mean, seriously, come on.
It was just fucking funny to just be like, "My dog don't eat pork," and it wasn't just like.
Well, I got bad news for Dano. I had a pork burrito bowl before I came over here, and it was fucking delicious.
Man, I was thinking about ordering something like that, but I was like, no, I'm gonna stick to the rice, the beans, the seasonings, the cheap stuff this weekend.
That's what I ate yesterday.
Save the money.
I had a bean and rice bowl. And then this morning I had like 2 ham and turkey sandwiches, and they were delicious. One with pepper jack, one with cheddar. Put a little dill on there, oregano, salt, pepper, romaine slab, mayo, mustard,
That's a lot of shit, man.
whole grain, 9-grain bread.
Let me ask you, Stefan.
Delicious.
Are you a mayo tomato fan?
Under the right circumstances, I will devour a bacon, lettuce, tomato, avocado sub with the little toasts.
What about just the straight up mayo tomato combo?
Probably gonna pass on that. I'm not big on tomatoes, and I'm not big on just.
But together, they're like Key and Pele.
I'd rather go for like a balsamic vinaigrette tomato, like caprese salad type deal with like mozzarella cheese.
I can't. With all those syllables, I can't fucking think of what that tastes like, man.
Delicious.
I'm not a big.
It's literally.
I'm not a big vinegar guy. Like when it
It's
comes to
literally-
hot sauces, even like some people like it just like, oh, it's hot sauce. No, it's vinegar sauce.
Like Frank's.
Yeah, Frank's Red Hot.
AKA vinegar in a tube. But no, like the balsamic, it's you get a nice cut of tomato, you put a piece of mozzarella on there, and then then you put a little bit of balsamic vinaigrette on there. It's got like a tang to it. It's not like a.
That sounds like you're just trying to make it more sophisticated than what it is.
It's an Italian.
Sophisticated.
It's just an Italian like appetizer. We'll make it for you sometime, or we'll go get it
Yeah.
sometime.
Why don't you make it for me? Why don't you take me out to Sonic again? We actually went to Sonic after just bringing it up. Stefan was like, yeah, let's go to Sonic now. I was like, oh, you were serious about that? We get there, and it's like, the shake's way better than the fucking dogs, dude. Sonic dogs are bullshit. Oh, my God.
Yours was bad. What did I get? Oh, I got the King Hawaiian bun chicken sandwich. I was okay.
Fuck that. Like, the
Fuck that.
Fuck that, man. Like, seriously, they brought me out a hot dog. It was a Chicago dog that you could literally suck through a straw. It was like a Frank's. It was like a ballpark Frank, man. Like, you need some intestinal casing. Something, when you bite into it, it clicks. It's crisp.
I don't fuck with ballparks anymore. My boys turn me on to Nathan's.
That's why I'm
Nathan's are
saying, man,
delicious.
don't fuck with that shit. Don't fuck with any kind of
By Nathan's, you
pink
get the
matter
fuck out.
that you can suck through a straw.
You get Nathan brand hot dog, you can get the fuck out of this house.
Don't buy Johnsonville either, because apparently they're assholes.
Really?
Yeah, according to SA, he knows them. He's related to the family or something or other.
Damn, that's too bad, because I literally
bastards.
last week just bought jalapeno cheddar brats from them, and they were pretty good.
Go up to Carl's, buy your
the
shit
Carl's.
from there, man. Get the Carl's brat. I mean, they're not like they have it posted everywhere. State champion, 2002 reserve.
I really feel like our next trip is going to
2003?
be a trip to Briscoe County, so I can look at Bruce Campbell, get a picture with Bruce Campbell's picture.
No, it's
And then
literally
go
the
to-
picture that you pulled up, the first picture you pulled
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
As soon as you walk in,
But I
it's
wanna
just
get it in person.
8x11, almost like
Screen
a wanted
print, yeah.
poster.
Yeah, no, I'm saying though, go in there, get the picture, have some drinks at Briscoe, go pick up brats at what's this?
We're gonna do a bang bang.
Well, we'll probably eat light at Briscoe, just get a couple drinks, and then have a barbecue with the stuff we'll pick up at.
Hey,
yeah.
hey, you guys having a retirement party? We're the real cowboys. Let's walk in there fucking dressed as cowboys.
Get like a Woody
on
outfit.
a Thursday or a Friday night.
Get like a
because
Woody outfit.
that shit is, yeah, one of us will dress like toy cowboy, like fucking either Woody or Les Claypool in Winona's Big Brown Beaver, and the other one will actually be dressed like a fucking cowboy.
like John Wayne.
Yeah. Just like fucking gut.
I'll go as
hanging out.
Woody. I'll go as Woody. You can go as John Wayne. And
Yeah, I mean, I got the body for it.
so, and then we'll go to this brat place, which I literally just forgot the name.
Is it in Bayview?
No, the place you were just talking about. Going to
Oh,
pick up our
Sonic.
links.
That place sucks.
No, not
Oh,
Sonic.
Carl's.
Yeah, go to Carl's. We'll pick
That's
up
not a restaurant.
I know, but we'll go
It's a
there.
meat market.
That's what I'm saying. We'll go there, pick up the meat, and then come back and barbecue.
Yeah. And then we could just be like dressed as cowboys in my backyard, and my neighbors would be like, "What the fuck are those cowboys doing
And
down there?"
We'll just be like, we're barbecuing.
Oh, shit. No, we got to do it on a Thursday or a Friday because Briscoe County is the place that my industrial park located business just decides to go to because it's the first thing. when
That's
you
the
go
after
west.
work for drinks place.
After work for drinks place when somebody retires
Yeah,
and
like
not
you
get
said.
fired. That's a disclaimer right there. But it's
a couple
kind of
asterisks by
like
that
one
one.
of those places where it's like it's right next to an industrial park, so that's where the industrial park workers go
Drink,
to.
yeah.
So yeah, we should go there on like a Thursdays,
weird.
Friday day, where it's like fucking people on Monday morning will be like, "Yeah, we went to Briscoe County, and there were like a couple dudes like dressed as
as
John
cowboys."
Wayne and fucking Woody from Toy Story."
It literally said Andy on the bottom of his boot. But
Oh, no, you'll get Andy, dude. You'll just get so drunk, we'll fucking write Andy on the bottom of your shoe and fucking tie strings to you and manipulate you through the rest of the fucking night like a weekend at
I am
Bernie's
not doing
thing.
all that.
Hey, man, sign me up.
That was the
Sign
weird
me
thing.
up.
That was the weird thing about my work was when we'd have company get-togethers. They wouldn't go to Bayshore Mall. They'd go to this bar all the way out by where Steve-O used to live. Like that's like a 20-minute drive across town. It's weird.
No.
I tell you that guy that got hired on as a guy at my
fired and rehired.
a guy got a harassment case levied against him, but then he now is a manager at a facility out of the state. Like he just got promoted.
I mean, maybe he had dirt on somebody. Maybe he had dirt on the fucking serial shitter. It was a fucking COO or something.
I should have just left a crap somewhere down there. I should have just kept the legacy
Nah,
alive.
man, you're better than that.
Yeah, I am.
You know what? Just fucking. They didn't give you dignity on the way out. Take yours.
Yeah.
Now you get to work with puppies.
Yeah, I do.
You know what though? All I care about is are you happy?
But this has been like the best week of my life. I'm so glad I don't work there anymore.
As long as you're happy, Stefan.
Yeah.
That's all I really care
I'm so
about.
glad I don't work there. Brittany's all like, I'll be your sugar mama. I'm like, that's amazing, but I'm not going to ride that boat. So, but it's great.
Yeah, because, that's nice to know that she says that because she loves
It's not
you.
sustainable. But,
Oh, no. Stefan talking shit.
no, I mean,
I'm just saying.
Income-wise,
That is, yeah, yes.
yeah.
Yes, I know.
Two people, yeah.
I've been in relationships before, or just been like with prospects of relationships before, where it's like, oh, you don't do shit. That's
too bad.
Yeah, that's too bad. I mean, I really like you, but you don't do shit. And like, I don't know. I just can't be with somebody who doesn't do shit.
Yeah. So, but I've been enjoying the time off. I enjoy not having to work there anymore. We're out of White Claws, people. I don't know if
we're
we
not.
I need more.
We got plenty.
I got to go grab them, though.
Let me do it because I gotta pee. Why don't you talk to the viewers about, I don't know, hockey? Or
Let's
something.
just go dead air. Just dead air, you guys. Just put some Sousa on for them.
I mean, yeah, that's royalty free.
It's royalty free. It's an all American. You have Democratic debates going on. I don't know if they're even any good, but sometimes you just have to. You just have to.
I mean, this is the 4th of July special, right?
Jesus.
Like early 4th of July.
You need
Oh,
to
dope. You got fucking Sousa on.
You need to put some dynamite in your fridge and blow that fucker
Yeah, I
up,
need
dude.
to fucking... dude, I've been eyeing them up. I've gotten some leads on some places to buy used fridges, but I kind of just want a new one.
As long as the cans don't come out with an
Reeking
aura
like
of
death.
smell. They have an aura.
Reeking of death.
They have like an aura of smell. Like if you get within 6 inches.
Come on, man. Don't you want to
Smell
just
it.
like pledge your life to the Plague Lord?
I already got the cough. I'm halfway there.
I know, man. I can't even smell it anymore.
That's the real problem. Where were we? We were talking about.
We're talking about puppy dogs.
Oh yeah, everybody
We
knows.
moved
Oh, that
from
hairless dog.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about this hairless dog. So have you've
It's
ever
like a
seen
hairless mastiff? Could you imagine that?
No, it's he was a little guy. He was a littler guy, and like I'm talking, he's like mid shin height, and have you ever seen like those world ugliest dogs? They have like the gross snarls. Basically, it was hairless.
Yeah, I love him. I love him.
Yeah,
I
basically,
love ugly.
basically he's
have a
hairless.
big affinity for.
He's got like
ugly
a
animals.
ratty tail with like long wispy hairs, and then he had like eyebrows. He didn't have a messed up jaw or anything.
Are you sure that they weren't drawn on?
But the thing with the dog was,
Did it have the voice of that guy from Independence Day who was Jeff Goldblum? So I was like, "Oh, Wolf, Wolf, Wolf! I need to go get my eyebrows painted on."
that's how he would have sounded.
Whoa,
like this, dude.
whoa, yes,
He
yes,
was like
I have
this.
seen these. Oh
Yeah.
my God, what the fuck are these
Except-
things, man?
Except he was way fatter and his whiskers were way longer. He looked crazy.
That's a hairless dog, though.
Yeah.
That's a dog with a fucking mullet, man. That's a Shih Tzu with a mullet. I swear to God, dude.
He was kind of rad though.
I had a fucking Shih Tzu lab, fucking combination when I was a kid. Loved her. And her name was Shadow because she was black, and she followed me everywhere, and that's what my parents named her. And I got her when she was a little puppy dog, and I terrorized the shit out of that dog. So I was a dumb kid, but I love that dog. And then she ran away, and I think that was like code for my parents got rid of her because of my allergies. Fucking dog, like, literally, like, made my face, like, just
Swell up like a
yeah.
pumpkin, yeah.
But I love that dog.
That's what happened when my parents had a Christmas tree one year.
Oh my God, is that a dog or a cat?
These are all dogs.
Woo. Let's look at hairless animals, dude.
Ecuadorian hairless dog. This
Dude,
is pretty
no.
close.
Go back one. Go back one.
He's kind of looking like that.
Dude, that shit looks like a fucking seal.
What, this guy right here?
Yeah. That guy looks like a fucking sea lion. It's like a genetic mutation, though. He looks like Dobby fucked a sea lion.
These guys look baller. Hang out with a couple of these studs.
I mean, Stefan, are you a furry?
No.
I mean, are you a baldy? All right.
Hairless dogs. Bizarre. But it was weird. Like, what I wanted to get was, like, petting them. Like, you think it would maybe be kind of soft, like human skin. It's leathery. Like a woman who tans too much.
Like a beaver's tail.
Yeah.
So, how big is this store?
It's small.
Yeah.
It's
How
interesting.
small
though.
is this store?
It's interesting though because it's clearly what could be an apartment space.
I mean, yeah, people live above it, right?
Yeah. How big is it?
Do drunk college students walk through to go upstairs to get home?
No. They
There's
live
a
upstairs,
they're in
and
the
this is
alley?
like the lower level.
Okay.
So you walk in. There's like a small mud room. Then you come in.
Mud
And the-
room, is that where the
It's just like it's like a 6x6 walkway.
airlock?
Yeah. And then
And the dogs shake their filth off.
and then there's no door. It just goes right into the next room, and that's where the open counter is. Excuse me.
It's like, hello, traveler.
And then it
What are
comes
you
in.
buying? What are you selling?
Yeah, you come in, and there's me and a couple treats and stuff.
I just bought that game today on sale for $5. Resident Evil 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I should actually get on the Steam sale. I got to get Banner Saga 3, the last game in the trilogy, and
There's another one?
Yeah, the last one's out.
I haven't even finished one. I bought that game for you too.
The last game just came out, and then
there were none.
And now I want to get Dark Souls, kind of.
Dude, I got that trilogy completed, and I just need to start it. I have so many games in my reservoir. Recently, I've been playing the Kitty People expansion for Elder Scrolls Online.
Esserwire, or whatever it's called.
Elsewhere.
Yeah. Thank you.
You know, the Khajiit Elsewhere. I think it's hilarious that they're all like Eastern European Russians. Cat people.
They're like gypsies.
Yeah, they are they are Eastern European gypsies.
Yeah.
Abner Tharn's in there. The dragons are in there. It's like some sort of like dragon plague before the Skyrim era.
I remember playing that game. I remember there was one of the expansions had just unlocked. It was really cool. I was looking forward to doing it co-op with some people, but no one was really playing at the time. And then the Thieves Guild stuff was interesting, but I also had no one to do that with.
Yeah, but I started playing with you and Alex around the time the Thieves Guild thing came out, but you just wanted to jump straight into the Thieves Guild, and we were like trying to make characters and just going through like the main story. He was like, I want to do Thieves Guild stuff. I want to steal stuff and get arrested. And City Stones like, no.
It was doable.
Actually, I remember one night, me and Alex and you were playing one night, and we were talking about twinking from World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
And we had a disagreement about it.
Yeah, it was like you could twink.
And you were like
any game.
super upset about it. Because I was like, no, this is like how it works in this thing. And you were like, no, I've played it before, and this is how it works. I know what I'm talking about. And I was just like...
Somebody said there was no twinking in WoW, and I was like, no, there's twinking in WoW.
No, I think that was a misunderstanding. It was... We were talking... I was... what I had said
I'm pretty sure, though, this is the third time we've talked about this on the cast.
But it was like stupid. It was like super stupid. It was like, you were obviously upset, and I was just like... Well, fuck, man. If he's going to be that upset about something that stupid, I don't even want to play with him anymore. I fucking, like, private messages to Alex. I was like, I feel really awkward. There's a really awkward silence hanging in the Skype chat right now. You want to, like, go play through some of this story stuff before? We just both told you, it's like, we're going to get off. And then we signed back on and kept playing without you. You were really offended, though. You were like super offended.
You were saying there wasn't twinking in something, and I was
like,
no,
no.
twinking.
I remember I was saying you go to a dealer now. There was like a disagreement between like what you used to do to just like stop your level from progressing and to where you do it.
No,
now.
I know they had the dealer, but they had you still had to twink your gear and like get certain things. It's still exactly how it was fucking all those years ago. Except now you can just turn off the leveling.
Yeah, we had a stupid disagreement, but like you're like yelling at me. I was like, Stefan, you become your brother.
No, there's a lot more going on in that conversation than just that. And I think we were talking about twinking and Elder Scrolls.
You're gay. No, you're gay. No, you're gay.
Man, that game,
you're gay.
That game just has no PvP at all.
Actually, now they have an arena PvP, which I have not even delved into. And they do have the continent PvP, which you just get annihilated if you try to go do yourself. But if you get with a group and have a strategy.
Yeah, you just roll around in a horde. That was literally the worst PvP I'd ever played.
But they do have arena now. I have not even delved into that. I just like Elder Scrolls. Like the lore.
Yeah, it's all right. Skyrim was okay. It was hard when I played that and I had absolutely no investment in either of what was supposed to... I had no investment or interest in what was supposed to be the main story, which was picking between the Empire, or what's the other group? The Storm
I don't fucking
Cloaks
remember.
or whatever. It was pick the Romans or pick the racist Viking people. And they're both terrible.
Now, let me ask you this.
You could still beat the game without picking one, but you missed like a ton of the content.
Let me ask you this. Monster Truck Rally in Milwaukee or midget wrestling in Madison?
Is the Gravedigger going to be there?
Is that midget wrestling from
That's
Monster
Monster
Truck? I mean, prime opportunity for the midget wrestling to. I think they're doing that at like the Riverside or something like that. Midget wrestling, and they call it that. Don't fucking zap me, YouTube. But I think that's like coming up. We missed our chance last year.
Midget wrestling? Is Mini Kiss going to be there?
I've been talking to Dave Tarantino. I was like pitching him like ideas for like, it's like, okay, if you're gonna do a music video, just don't do fucking dudes in a warehouse, like with lights in the
Do a Monster
background
Truck
playing.
Rally.
Yeah, I was exactly. I was like, do sumo wrestling, do luchadors, something
High
like that.
flyers. If you're going to get my 2 cents out of that, go luchador. High flyers are the greatest wrestling. Is the best kind of wrestling.
For real, just like do a band thing where you do all your shots in a wrestling match, and then just have luchadors fight in it, and then just put it together.
Go to an Evel Knievel style stunt show. Those are great.
What's the fucking Duke Kaboom? That's fucking Keanu Reeves' character in the new Toy Story. He's like a Keanu Reeves dude on a bike. He's Canadian. He's the Canadian. I was going to say
Duke Evelyn.
Oh shit. Oh, for real though. What are like other novelty events like the monster truck? I've never been to a monster truck rally. Mud wrestling. Roller derby.
I did. Well, it wasn't mud wrestling, but it was bubble wrestling.
What's bubble wrestling? Where they just like bring out the fucking soap suds from the
Yeah.
wash machine?
Basically, they have
Lame.
they have a soap machine, and then there were some chicks wrestling in a kiddie pool. It was at a house party,
Oh, I guess.
so it was just like lines of chicks in bikinis, and the stairs were covered in suds. I remember because Marcus was still there. We were going house
R.I.P.
jumping. Yeah, we were going house jumping down by UWM, and he's like, yeah. It was literally just walking around and be like, hey, what's going on? You guys partying? Yeah, okay, let's come in. And there was just suds everywhere in this house. I could only imagine the after water damage from like how much soap was in this house, because the party was in the basement, but there were suds upstairs. And we start going downstairs, and they're like, watch the stairs. As soon as somebody says that, I just go right on my butt and just all the way down the stairs. And we get down there, and it's like strobe lights, bubble machine, like knee-high suds everywhere, and chicks like wrestling.
Wow,
Chicks like wrestling, but not really wrestling. Like, you know what I mean? Where they're just like,
somebody came back from Senior Frogs in fucking Cancun, like really took it to heart. It's like, wow, this is like the best party ever, and it was because of the suds, not the drugs I was on.
and we literally just left right. We literally just like left right away. Because they were
dude,
out of beer or something. It was bizarre.
You should have fucking like slipped a few more times and sued. Or do they have a waiver?
Oh, my hip. I can't get up.
Oh, shit. The old man in the sea suds party. Ocean suds. The gross brown kind. Ugh. Dude, ocean foam is gross.
Especially when it's all covered with algae.
Algae.
Sud wrestling. Gravedigger. If you could get Gravedigger in a music video, that's clearly going to be a copyright strike, but
I didn't know that there's like a thing in sumo wrestling where they kind of like bring out like a warm-up act and they go through like the dishonorable, like it's like almost like a comedy thing that they've rehearsed. And there's like this dishonorable thing where like
I'll be the Harlem Globetrotters, you be the Generals, and you just look dumb. Thanks.
Oh, dude, I saw somebody with the Capitals, just decal that took up the entire back of their Jeep Jamboree. Yesterday.
Capitals or Generals?
Capitals.
Like
Capitals.
Washington Capitals.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Generals.
Like Washington, D.C. Capitals.
Yeah. The hockey teams.
It's not even a country.
Of course, it would be a state.
I mean, it's not even a state.
No, it's not. They want to be ratified, though.
Why is it a district of Columbia? Why?
Because that's where all the excuse me, that's where all the political nonsense goes on. They don't think it should have
because it has to be outside of.
They don't think it should have a statehood because it would be too much influence. That's one of the arguments.
Well,
but I think every
well, it's also religion, so like the Vatican has.
But every once in a while, it comes up where it's like we should be our own deal. Shit, the once and only time I went to DC, that was what was going on. They were just like, we should have our own.
Dude,
state.
I remember your tales from DC. You were just. I remember one of the first things that sticks in my mind was
trashiest city I've ever been in.
Cockroaches
crawling the street. I was like, oh look, it's a frog. Nope, those are cockroaches.
I remember you saying they're pulling fresh seafood out of the fucking river, and we go to Applebee's.
Yep, that too. That too. Parents are just like, we land. Where do you want to eat? Applebee's? No. I see a Jersey Mike's. I'm like, I'll settle for that.
I think I was like 19, 20, 21. My mom hits me. I was like, I would like to go on a trip to Colonial Williamsburg, and you should come with. And I was like, I don't have the money for that, and I don't want to fucking go to that. Now, like, looking back on it, it would have been a nice memory, but Colonial Williamsburg?
I think we stopped there. We did a bunch of the Civil War sites. But what we should have done is the kayak trip up the river. You get to see all the sites from the river.
To me,
you paddle up it, and you're just on your own with your friends.
Like the Lincoln Memorial, fucking the Washington obelisk. You know,
actually, this is the second time I've been to DC. That was a mistake. I've been to DC twice. I've been inside. I've seen all those things. They're cool, but
landmarks.
You can see them from the river just fine.
Landmarks aren't that fucking cool. You know, it's like, okay, go to South Dakota or North Dakota. Which one's fucking?
You can do all the touristy shit, or you can actually see the city, basically.
Yeah,
there's plenty of cool things to see.
If I'm gonna go like touristing around, I want to just go wander and fucking meet people
and stumble into things and be like, "This is a thing."
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah.
I want to go like urban exploring and not get murdered. So it'd kind of be cool to like have a guide to like guide you through a spontaneous.
Doug wants a DC Sherpa.
Yeah. Dude, apparently the Sherpas are like, it's fucked up because the Sherpas are an ethnic group, but they're also like uppercase Sherpas are the ethnic group, Sherpa. And then the lowercase Sherpa are like the tour guides who fucking pull your ass and gear up Everest so you can get a selfie.
Yeah, I'll carry you to the top.
But that's becoming a hot topic because John Oliver put out another video about it.
I've seen some stuff before John Oliver talked about it where it's just like, it's a trash heap up there.
Yeah.
Because people
it's not just the trash, it's the fucking... the
bodies are up there, the trash is up there.
The
like
human waste is up there,
people
and it's starting to thaw.
Yeah.
And there is like a shit layer of just like all the people who've been going up there that is starting to thaw, and it's going to be like a shit.
Because it's a bucket list
stampede.
item. So you get all these fucking millionaires and shit and whatever else that are going up there, not necessarily cleaning up after themselves, and they just.
But you also have these people who are like the Sherpas, who are part of this ethnic group, but are also like their living depends on them risking their life.
Yeah.
Going up
Now they're
and
going
down
up there
mountain.
to fucking clean it. Like they're just going up there to clean it. That's
they
all
also
just crazy.
go up there to fucking clear the pass of ice.
Yeah.
There's like passes where they like literally tie ladders across and like slink it across and like have it just like barely rest in the snow, and the guys like pull on it from the other side to keep tension on the ladder, and a first motherfucker has to go out there and make it to the other side and then fasten the ladder, which is still sketchy as fuck. I wouldn't want to fucking like, even if somebody already went out over the other side and fastened a ladder tied to a ladder that is going to be my land bridge over this ice chasm. Like, I wouldn't want to do it. I don't care how much money you could fucking pay me. Okay, maybe $10 million.
Not a Sherpa or an honorary Sherpa.
But that's like these guys obviously aren't making a lot of money because they keep doing it.
You don't think they just love doing it? It's for the craft, Doug.
I mean, it kind of seems like a class of people are being taken advantage of.
Oh, they definitely are. But what are you going to do when, excuse me, when you live around Everest? Like, you don't have an industrial. Do you have an industry to get involved in? Do you have. What do you have to get involved in? It's a tourist area.
We're just thinking of it all wrong, man. We need this utopian society to take place, you know? Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I'd love a utopian society, but there's so many people who are.
This is why I tell people, don't move up north. It's like, oh, I want to bring my kid up north and just raise him up there in, you know, the Great Northwoods. It's like,
but there's nothing up there.
There's nothing up there.
But here's the thing. Like, I'd love a utopian society, but there's so many people that are resistant to it. There's things that logistically are hard to make work, and that's just the way it is.
That's just the way it is. Da-na-na. Things will never be the same. That's just the way it is. Oh, yeah.
See, we could outro with that, but...
Don't do it, because we can't get on Spotify.
I know,
then.
but...
Sting will kill us. Sting will come out of the hive and sting us.
I don't understand.
Nobody asked you, Google.
Sting will kill us triggers her.
You talking shit about Sting? All right, man. We're at an hour 47. How about that? How about we end on Sting brutally murdering us?
And you can just
conjure
Google
in
that
your
song.
minds Sting, the bass player. Underneath,
You can just Google it. That's the way it is, and listen to that. That's the outro.
Yeah, but Sting, the bass player, is going to have his lower two legs fused into a needle, and he's going to sting you in the belly button.
And it just is the Celine.
And then you will be addicted
Celine
to the police.
Celine Dion. That's the way it is. That's the outro.
It's not even the right fucking that the way it is, man. I fucking hate Celine Dion. Actually, I love Celine Dion.
Bruce
I hate
Hornsby,
Celine
The
Dion.
Range. That's the way it is.
All right, let's upload this episode. Go up to the fucking bar.